Hey y'all, welcome. Today we are making some black eyed peas and collard greens together, a simple seasoned rice, some gluten-free cornbread, and a roasted sweet potato. Now don't forget to check out my ebook in the description box, and we're going to first get started with the black eyed peas and collard greens. I like to do this combo because it's a time saver for me, but I also think it really tastes good. Let me know if you would give this a try. Now first, I'm going to start off by sauteing some Cajun sausage in some butter. Now, if you don't mess with the Piggly Wiggly, it's okay. Go ahead and use beef andouille or even turkey andouille or chicken andouille sausage is a great substitute. I actually like that better sometimes. I'm then going to go in with some celery, some onion, and some bell pepper. I'm going to saute that for about 2 minutes before I put in my Tony's Creole seasoning to help draw out that moisture. And then I'm going to saute it for about 3 more minutes. You really want to get a good color on your vegetables because that does change the flavor. At last, you add your garlic, only for the last 30 seconds because we ain't trying to get that garlic to burn, baby. We don't want that happening, okay? And then we're going to go in with a teaspoon, about a teaspoon and a half of some salt-free Cajun seasoning. If you saw my seasoning video, you saw me make this, okay? So go and watch that video. Now, I do often get questions about why I don't just saute in the Instant Pot. And that is because I feel like you have more surface area and better temperature control in a regular skillet. So I'm going to add this to my Instant Pot as well as 3.5 cups of water. And I put that in my skillet to get out all the flavor because baby, we ain't leaving that behind, okay? I have 8 ounces of black-eyed peas that have just been rinsed, but they have not been soaked at all. And then I have a tablespoon of low sodium chicken bouillon. I'm going to add a little extra Creole seasoning as well as some fresh thyme, some fresh oregano, and a bay leaf. I'm going to mix that in before adding my collard greens. Now I'm using about 5 cups of collard greens, and I decided to also go in with some smoked ham hock, but smoked turkey is fine. I actually like smoked turkey better, but I did not have that. And these collard greens, you really can use as much as you like, okay? I'm going to go ahead and put on my lid, and I'm going to pressure cook this for 30 minutes and let it natural pressure release for about 15 minutes. Now, if you don't have an Instant Pot, you can do this on the stove. Of course, it's going to take at least twice as long. But baby, get you an Instant Pot, okay? Save time in the kitchen, all right? I don't have all day, all right? Now, once this is done, I'm going to stir this. I'm going to adjust the taste. I'm also going to put this on saute for just about 5 minutes because I want some of the broth to evaporate, but that's optional. It's really up to you at this point. I decided it needed a little bit more chicken bouillon, so I just put in, just a little bit more of that. And let me tell you something, okay? Don't be coming at me talking about how you think it's too much salt. 'Cause let me tell you something right now. I'm going to come at you with a switch, okay? I'm going to hit them legs, okay? Because some of y'all don't get that this is a recipe, so you need to just make everything fit what your family likes, okay? Now, if you have enjoyed this recipe so far, go ahead and give me a like because it does help me get my content out to more people. And we're going to continue on with roasting these sweet potatoes. Now, of course, I've been doing all of these at one time. So really, when you're cooking the black-eyed peas and collard greens, you need to go ahead and be washing up and oiling your sweet potatoes with some olive oil and wrapping them in foil. Okay, because these are going to take about as long as the collard greens to cook. Now, of course, you could pop these things in the oven. You could have these going a little bit before you put the cornbread in. So maybe give them a jump start of about 20 minutes. And then you make your cornbread and then you put that in. However, I didn't want my oven on for that long. So I decided to just pop them in the air fryer. It was just most convenient that day. So I just had them cook for about 35 minutes in the air fryer. And then I made the cornbread separately. So I had the oven heating at 400. And then I put in Sister Mabel. Okay, y'all know her. Okay. And I'm going to do a gluten-free cornbread. I know some of you guys have been trying to cut back on flour. So I'm going to show you a way you can do it. Everyone can have cornbread. Okay. Everyone should be able to have it. Okay. Now, the way you do this is that you need a fine ground cornmeal and then you need a rough, like a regular cornmeal. Okay. That's how you get the texture. I'm going to then go in with some brown sugar, some baking soda, and some baking powder, as well as some salt, of course. And I'm going to mix this together. Now, once I've mixed this, I'm going to form a well in the middle, and that's where I add my wet ingredients. Now, a little bit about the gluten-free cornbread. It is a little bit more crumbly Then your typical cornbread that does have the flour in it. It has a nice taste, very little bit of a coarse texture. I like it. I feel like it needs to be eaten though within 1 or 2 days because it doesn't hold the moisture the same way the flour does. But if you're gluten-free or maybe you just like to have some gluten-free options, I think it's really good. It's tasty. Me and my family ate it up. We loved it. So you just let me know if you would try this, okay? Now that my oil is hot, I'm going to go ahead and put in my cornbread mixture. I'm going to spread it out. You see, I'm still getting that sizzle. Okay, I'm still getting that pop. Now, I will say that this cornbread is going to cook quicker than your typical cornbread. This was done in about, really you should look at it at about 15 minutes, about 18 minutes. It's probably going to be ready, max 20. All right, because you don't want to overcook it. It cooks a little faster. Then I'm going to rub it down with some butter, when it's done, baby. Okay, just like my regular cornbread. Now, I decided to put a little honey on top of mine, but see, I ain't show y'all that because I know some of y'all going to come for me talking about why you putting honey on cornbread. I do what I want to do, okay? But I love you, though. Now, for my seasoned rice, I am going to put in some olive oil and I'm going to just put in 2 cloves of garlic. I didn't mince them because I want like an overall garlicky flavor, but I don't want it to be too strong. I'm going to add in a sprig of rosemary and I'll just saute that for about 30 seconds before adding in my basmati rice. I'm going to stir this in order to just toast it a little bit before I put in my water. I'm going to season this with a little bit of Sazon Tropical. Y'all know I like the Sazon Tropical, okay? Some low sodium chicken broth bouillon, as well as just a pinch of salt. I'm going to cover this. I'm going to let it come to a boil, and then I'll reduce the heat to low, and I'm going to let this simmer for about 18 to 20 minutes. You don't want to be stirring it, while it's cooking. Just let it steam on the lowest heat setting. Okay, now this isn't going to make a strong flavored rice, just something that gives a little pizzazz to your plain rice. You know what I'm saying? Just a little something, okay? A little something, right? Because there's so much flavor in the black eyed peas, you don't want the rice, to really overpower it, but sometimes you just want something a little special there. So let me know if you're going to try these recipes and if you enjoyed me just showing a little gluten-free option. Thank you all for watching and supporting my channel. I love you all so much. Jesus loves you. God bless everyone who watches my channel. I thank you so much for your support, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.